Welcome to Premium Coin Deals. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Police car light, have you ever looked at your pocket change and thought, could this be worth millions? Well, grab the jar of coins you've been tossing into for years because today, we're talking about something that could make you rich, or at least a lot richer than you were 5 minutes ago. We're diving into the 1952 S. Lincoln 1-cent penny, and you won't believe how much it's worth right now. So stick around. You might just have a small fortune in your wallet or at the bottom of your couch cushions. But first, quick disclaimer. If you're pulling out pennies from your piggy bank expecting instant riches, I'm not promising you'll get a mansion. But hey, there's always hope, right? Grinning face with smiling eyes, all right. Let's talk about this mysterious 1952 S. Lincoln penny. Now, most pennies we come across are worth, well, a penny. Literally. But then you've got that one, rare, special penny from 1952 with an S mint mark. And that S is no ordinary letter. Oh no, it's like the VIP pass of the penny world. It stands for the San Francisco Mint, where they struck these little beauties. So why is this penny worth so much? Well, there's a little thing called rarity mixed with the right condition. In 1952, the San Francisco Mint made a batch of pennies, but guess what? A lot of them ended up being used, thrown away, or just disappeared over time. And that's why they're so valuable today. Now, if you've got a 1952 S in mint condition, and I'm talking about perfect, as if it just came out of the factory, you're looking at something special. In fact, the highest selling 1952 S penny ever reached, drumroll please, $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right, million with an M. Now, before you go running to your coin collection and tossing pennies around like they're confetti, there are some things you should know. A 1952 S penny has to be in pristine condition to fetch that kind of price. We're talking about no wear, no scratches, no nicks. You want it to look like it just came off the minting press yesterday. You don't need a magnifying glass to spot a scratch. Just don't expect to sell your penny for a small fortune if it looks like it's been through a car wash. Here's my personal story. Years ago, I found a 1952 S penny in my dad's coin jar. Now, I wasn't thinking about $1.6 million or anything, so I just stuck it in a drawer. Fast forward a few years, and guess what I found? I had the right penny, except it looked like it had been through a 10-mile run in a dryer. No million-dollar sale for me. But hey, lesson learned. Check your coins before they're buried under 10 years of old receipts. Face with rolling eyes, seriously though, not all 1952 S pennies are created equal. Most of them aren't in mint condition. But don't be sad. If yours is in decent shape, it's still worth more than face value. The general value for a lower grade 1952 S penny can range anywhere from $3 to $10. Still better than the handful of pennies I found wedged behind the couch, right? So, what can we learn from this? First off, check your pennies. They might not all be worth millions, but they might be worth something, and you never know when you could strike gold, or in this case, copper. Who would have thought that a little copper circle from 1952 could turn into a fortune? Now, I bet you're wondering how to get your hands on a 1952 S penny, or at least how to spot one when you're going through your change. Well, if you want more tips like this and want to become a coin expert, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on any of these awesome coin tricks, tips, and hidden treasures. And hey, maybe one day, you'll be the one selling a penny for $1.6 million. So, go ahead, grab your coins, do a little digging, and who knows? You might just be the next lucky person to uncover a small fortune. Don't forget to like, comment, and share if you found this video helpful. And be sure to subscribe for more tips on how to make your change your life. We're talking about the 1961 D. Lincoln cent, a coin that recently rocked the collector world with a jaw-dropping market value of $1.6 million. That's right, folks, 1.6 mil for a coin that most people wouldn't even bend over to pick up from a sidewalk. Today, I'm going to break down why this coin is worth a small fortune, what to look for in your pocket change, and the insane reason one of these pennies is more valuable than a Lamborghini. So sit back, grab a snack, and maybe dig through your couch cushions while you're at it. Okay, let's start with the basics. The 1961 D penny was minted in, shocker, Denver, hence the little d under the date. They made tons of these. We're talking over 1.7 billion coins. So how the heck does a coin from such a massive batch end up worth millions? Because not all pennies are created equal. In the case of the $1.6 million specimen, It wasn't just any old 1961 D penny. It was a mint state, ultra-rare, error coin in MS 67 plus red condition. That's grating nerd talk for absolutely flawless, fiery copper shine, and basically as close to perfect as you can get without cloning it in a lab. So what pushed it into millionaire territory? Let's talk about the juicy details. Some of these 1961 D pennies have a rare double die, meaning part of the design was stamped twice. Think of it as the coin version of a blurry tattoo. But when collectors see it, cha-ching, it's not enough to have a rare error. You want that baby mini fresh. Like, never left the wrapper mini. The $1 million one? Certified by PCGS with fire emoji levels of luster. Copper coins darken over time, but the most valuable ones keep that vibrant, fresh off the press red color. This coin looked like it time-traveled straight from 1961. It's like comparing a crusty penny in your junk drawer to a brand new iPhone dipped in copper. I gotta tell you a story. A few years ago, I was visiting my grandma, and she had this giant mason jar full of pennies. I'm talking Great Depression emergency fund levels of copper. So I'm like, hey grandma, I'm gonna look through these for rare coins. And she's like, sure, knock yourself out. Just don't mess up my shows. I spent 4 hours digging through that jar. My fingers turned brown, I lost feeling in my legs. And you know what I found? One 1983 Canadian penny, 3 gumball machine tokens, and a Lego piece. No treasure, just dust and disappointment. But hey, if I had found a 1961 D double die in mint red condition, I'd be telling this story from my yacht, not my YouTube setup. So if you want to be the next coin millionaire, here's what to look for. Look for the D mint mark under the 1961 date. Check for signs of doubling on the letters or numbers. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC if it looks promising. And don't get discouraged if you don't find a winner right away. Coin collecting is like dating. You got to go through a lot of duds before you find the one. So there you have it, folks. The story of the humble 1961 D penny that cashed out like a Hollywood celebrity. 1 cent turned into $1.6 million. And just think, there might be one hiding in your piggy bank right now. Before you go dumping your change jar all over the floor, here's what I need you to do. Backhand index pointing right, hit that subscribe button for more coin hunting tips. Backhand index pointing right, like this video. If you've ever picked up a penny for good luck, backhand index pointing right, comment below. If you've got a penny stash you're about to inspect, backhand index pointing right. And don't forget to share this with your cousin who thinks all pennies are worthless. Because the next time someone tells you it's just a penny, you can say, tell that to my $1 million coin collection. This 1964 D penny could be worth $1.70 million. Check your change. We're talking about the 1964 D Lincoln cent, a tiny treasure that might just be hiding in plain sight. It's like winning the coin lottery, but only if you know what to look for. Today, I'm going to break down why this penny is so valuable, what makes it rare, how to check your own stash, and the story behind how I almost gave away a coin worth hundreds. Spoiler, I'm still recovering emotionally. So grab your coffee, your coin jar, and maybe even a magnifying glass, because this is going to be fun, fascinating, and possibly the most profitable 10 minutes of your day. So first off, what's the deal with the 1964 D Lincoln cent? I mean, it's just a penny, right? 1 cent barely enough to buy, well, anything these days. But not all pennies are created equal. The regular OL 1964 D penny, made in the Denver Mint, is pretty common. They minted over 3 billion of them. That's billion with a B. So if yours looks normal, it's probably worth, well, a penny. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. Grinning face with sweat, but there's a twist. Some very specific 1964 D Lincoln cents were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning instead of being struck on the usual copper cent disc, they were accidentally struck on a silver dime planchet. Yup. A 10-cent blank snuck its way into the penny press. It's like the coin version of Freaky Friday. These error coins are super rare. Only a couple have ever been found, and that's why one sold at auction for, yep, $1.7 million. Money egg, money egg, money egg now. What makes these coins really stand out is a few things. White heavy checkmark, they're smaller in diameter than a regular penny. White heavy checkmark, they have a silvery color. Because, duh, dime metal. White heavy checkmark, and the details might look a little squished, especially around the edges. So if you find a 1964 D penny that looks a little weird, different color, odd size, missing parts of the rim. Do not spend it. You might just be holding your retirement plan. Smiling face with sunglasses. Now let me tell you a little story. About 5 years ago, I was at my grandma's place, digging through an old shoebox of coins she'd saved, just in case they were worth something. You know how grandmas are, she still calls the fridge an icebox. Faced with ears of joy, I'm flipping through coin after coin, mostly regular stuff, and I come across this silvery penny from 1964. I was like, huh, that's weird. And what do? Like a total amateur. I toss it back in the box. Upside down face. A few weeks later, I start researching error coins, and I find out about the exact type of 1964 D silver penny I'd seen. I literally drove 2 hours back to her house, tore that shoebox apart, and guess what? It was gone. My uncle had taken the whole box to the bank for face value. But the moral of the story is, if you see something weird in your coins, trust your gut and don't ignore it, because those little metal discs might be worth a fortune. Alright, so here's the recap. White heavy checkmark 1964. D pennies are usually common, but white heavy checkmark if you find one struck on a silver dime planchet. It could be worth up to $1.70 million. White heavy checkmark. Look for a different color, smaller size, and weird-looking edges. White heavy checkmark. If you even think you found one, get it checked by a professional coin grading service. Don't try to clean it, don't lick it, and for the love of Lincoln, don't spend it at Starbucks. Face with ears of joy. And hey, even if you don't find the $1 million one, there are tons of other coins out there worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. You just have to know what to look for, and that's where I come in. Winking face collision. So if you love hunting for hidden treasure, learning about coins that could change your life, and laughing along the way, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post new videos every week with coin tips, value guides, and stories that will make you double-check your change jar every time you pay for tacos. Taco Money with Wings. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're gonna go check your 1964 D pennies right now. I want to hear your stories. We're diving into the story of the legendary 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln cent and why collectors are shelling out millions for this little guy. So check your piggy banks, sofa cushions, and old coin jars, because you might be sitting on a gold mine. Well, a copper mine, technically. Alright, let's break it down. Most 1971 Lincoln pennies were minted in Philly, Denver, and San Francisco. If you look closely, coins from Denver have a little d, and those from San Francisco have an s. But Philly coins? They're the no-shows, no mint mark at all. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Not all 1971 no-mint mark pennies are rare. But one specific variety is, and it's a doozy. This coin wasn't just minted weird, it was struck on the wrong planchet or has a rare die variety, making it insanely collectible. Imagine showing this to your grandma and saying, hey, remember when this was bus fare? Now it's Bugatti fare. So where does that eye-watering $1.8 million figure come from? Well, a pristine, high-grade MS-67 red 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln cent with ultra-rare error features, sold at a high-profile auction. And guess what? There was a bidding war. Like eBay on steroids. Now, why so much? Because in the coin world, rarity plus condition plus story equals $. This particular penny had the trifecta: mint state, rare die variety, and no mint mark, verified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. I once paid $5 for a fancy sandwich. Turns out, I should have just kept the penny they gave me as change. Now here's the kicker. I actually had a close call with a valuable penny once. A few years ago, I was helping my aunt clean out her attic. Found an old coffee can full of pennies. I'm talking full-on national treasure vibes. I spot a 1971 no-mint mark penny and nearly faint. I Google it, hands shaking like I'm defusing a bomb. But turns out, it had been used as a dartboard target. A literal den in my dreams. Value? Like 2 cents in emotional damage. But that moment lit a fire under me. Now I hunt through change like a squirrel with ADHD. And you should too. So how do you know if your 1971 penny is the one? No mint mark under the date? White heavy check mark, is the coin bright red and uncirculated looking? White heavy check mark, any doubling on the date or liberty? Check for DDO, double die obverse. White heavy check mark, weird thickness or off-center strike. If it checks all those boxes, get it graded professionally. Don't go throwing it in a vending machine for a Snickers. That could be $1 million snack. So there you have it, the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln cent. A coin that proves sometimes Small things come with a huge payday. Literally, pocket change that can change your life. Don't just brush off those old pennies. Get curious. Dig into those jars, drawers, glove compartments. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button like you're trying to flatten a penny on train tracks. Subscribe for more coin tips, collecting hacks, and hilarious stories of my near misses and coin hunting. Drop a comment if you've ever found a weird or rare coin, or even just one that made you go, is this thing worth more than lunch? I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving into what makes this 1987 no mint mark penny so special, how to tell if you've struck copper gold, and what you need to look for to turn your pocket change into a payday. Oh, and I'll even share a little story about how I almost tossed a valuable coin in a vending machine for a Snickers bar. True story. Stick around. All right, let's get down to the shiny copper facts. First off, what even is a no mint mark penny? Most US coins have a little letter printed under the year. That's the mint mark. It tells you where the coin was made. But every now and then, a penny escapes the mint without that little letter. It's like it snuck out without signing the guest book. And if it happened due to an error and it's rare enough, cha-ching. Collectors go nuts. Imagine going to a party and forgetting to check in, and 35 years later someone says, "You're famous now." So the 1987 no mint mark penny, it's not supposed to be special. Most were minted in Philadelphia, which actually didn't use a P on cents at the time. So technically, most 1987 pennies don't have a mint mark. But here's where things get juicy. One rare 1987 penny had a weird composition, possibly a misstrike on a different metal blank, and sold in a private auction for $1.7 million. That's not a typo. That penny had a perfect storm. No mint mark struck on a bronze planchet instead of zinc near perfect condition, graded MS, 68 or higher in rarity. Like, unicorn level rarity. No mint mark, thicker, heavier feel, indicates bronze. Weighs 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams super clean surface. No scratches, dents, or vending machine battles. Professional grading is a must. Go with PCGS or NGC. Now for my tragic penny story. A few years ago, I found this odd-looking penny in my change from a gas station burrito run. It looked old school, like someone's grandpa in coin form. I flipped it. Noticed no mint mark. It felt heavy, but I was starving. I literally almost used it to buy a Snickers. But something said, wait, this feels extra. Turns out, it wasn't a $1 million penny, but it was a 1982 copper small date, worth about $200. Not bad for a guy who only wanted some sugar. Moral of the story? Always check your change before you feed the snack monster. And for those wondering, yes, I still got the Snickers. I just paid with a boring quarter. So here's the takeaway. Next time you're counting change at the bottom of your car cup holder, don't be so quick to toss those pennies aside. That 1987 no mint mark Lincoln cent could literally buy you a Tesla or 17. Now, is every 1987 penny worth millions? Nope. But is it worth checking? Heck yes. Especially when the difference between worthless and wealthy is literally a few grams of copper and a clean surface. If you learned something today, or if you're now obsessively digging through your change jar, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell like it's the Liberty Bell itself. I've got more coin tips, treasure stories, and money-making strategies coming your way. We're diving into the world of the 1993 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny, how a 1-cent coin could be worth a luxury home, or 3, and why you need to check your couch cushions immediately after this video. Let's get into it. Treasure hunters. First up, what even is this mysterious $1 million penny? So, the 1993 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the little d under the year. Over 6.4 billion of them were made. Yeah, billion with a B. So why is this one special? Most 1993 D pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 2 if it's shiny and you squint. But there's a super rare error version of the 1993 D Lincoln penny that collectors would auction off their cats to get their hands on. No cats were harmed in the making of this video. This particular error penny was struck on a bronze planchet, the kind used before 1982. These bronze pennies have 95% copper content, which gives them a different weight, color, and cha-ching value. In 2023, one of these bad boys popped up at auction and went absolutely nuclear. Price tag? $1.80 million. I'll let that sink in. That's enough to buy a yacht, Or at least pay off your student loans and buy a yacht-shaped floatie.so. What made this coin worth that much? Well, it's a combination of rarity, a major minting error, and collector demand that makes this particular penny so valuable. It wasn't supposed to be minted on a bronze planchet in 1993. That stopped happening more than a decade earlier. But hey, humans make mistakes, even in the US Mint. Think of it like this. It's the minting world's version of a factory misprint, like a soda can with no label or a Funko Pop with two heads. Weird? Yes. Valuable? You bet. Okay, quick story time. Back in college, I got deep into coin collecting. You know, as one does when they're broke and hoping to find treasure in laundry money. One day, I found this 1993 D penny in a Coinstar reject tray. It looked different, heavier, slightly off color. My heart started racing. I was already Googling private islands. Turns out, it was just dirty. But that experience? It changed how I looked at pocket change forever. Now, every time I get pennies back at the store, I check the date like I'm Indiana Jones on a coin hunt. You never know. So how do you know if your 1993 D penny is the golden goose? A regular zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. The bronze ones? Closer to 3.11 grams. Bronze pennies are a deeper reddish brown. Zinc ones are a bit brighter, kind of like the penny equivalent of someone who's been using tanning lotion. Believe it or not, they even sound different when dropped. Bronze pennies have a more solid clink. Just don't drop them in front of strangers or you'll look like you lost a bet. If you think you have a rare coin, get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. It's like having a treasure map verified before you dig. So what did we learn today? Not all pennies are created equal. Your loose change could be a retirement plan in disguise. And you really should stop throwing pennies into fountains unless you're 100% sure they're not secretly worth six figures. If you've got a 1993 D penny at home, go check it right now. I'll wait. Seriously. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more coin hunting tips, crazy coin stories, and strategies for turning spare change into serious cash, make sure to backhand index pointing right, smash that like button, backhand index pointing right, subscribe for weekly content, backhand index pointing right, hit the bell so you never miss a money-making opportunity because your next trip to the gas station might just come with $1 million surprise in your change. We're breaking down what makes this coin special, how you can spot one, and why someone just paid more for a penny than I did for my used Honda Civic. Alright, let's get nerdy, but in a fun way. Most coins have a little letter under the date, like D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco. That's the mint mark. It tells you where the coin was made. But some pennies? They're rebels. They don't have a mint mark. And while that's not always rare, the 2000 Lincoln Cent without any mint mark, that's a different story. This little guy somehow missed all the rules. No mint mark, weird composition, and in some rare cases, errors that make collectors absolutely lose their minds. So why is it worth more than a beachfront Airbnb in Florida? Well, some of these 2000 pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet. Translation? It was made using the wrong kind of metal. Usually, post-1982 pennies are copper-plated zinc, but these are showing up in solid copper or other strange alloys. And when you combine that with no mint mark and other die errors like double striking or off-center pressing, you've got a collector's dream. One of these mystery pennies recently sold at auction for a whopping $1.60 million. I cried. Not because I had one. Because I remembered I gave one away as a kid to pay for a gumball. Worst investment decision of my life. Okay, let me tell you a quick story. I once found a weird-looking penny when I was like 11. No mint mark, off-center, even kind of shiny. I thought, cool. Pirate treasure. So naturally, I tried to super glue it to my skateboard. For luck. Needless to say, the glue didn't hold, the coin fell off, and I lost both the penny and my dignity. Fast forward 15 years, and now I'm here telling you that that penny might have been worth six figures. Life's funny like that. Alright, here's how you can spot a potential jackpot penny. No mint mark under the year 2000 off, metal striking, weird color, weight, or ring sound. Errors like off-center designs, double dies, or strike-throughs uncirculated condition, shiny, sharp details weigh it. Normal pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. Copper ones weigh 3.1 grams. Big difference. If you're not sure, grab a cheap scale online. I got mine for $10 and now I weigh everything, including my snacks. Coin collecting will change you. So there you have it. Your boring OL penny might just be sitting on a pile of gold. Well, copper. But you get the idea. Before you toss that change in the tip jar or leave it rattling in your car cup holder, give it a second look. Your future vacation to Bora Bora might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this wild ride through coin collecting chaos, smash that like button like it owes you money. Subscribe for more coin tips, collecting hacks, and stories about how I continuously miss out on fortune by this much. Well, what if I told you? One of those little copper coins could be worth $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. 1 penny equals $1.4 million. You better start flipping through those coin jars like you're Indiana Jones searching for treasure, because today we're talking about the mysterious, elusive, and possibly life-changing 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Let's dive in. Now, before you dump your entire couch onto the floor, let's break down what makes this 2006 penny so valuable. In 2006, the U.S. Mint released the standard Lincoln penny, but as always, there should have been a little mint mark on it. A D for Denver, or a P for Philadelphia. Pretty straightforward, right? But someone, and I'm looking at you, mysterious mint employee, forgot to stamp that little mint mark on a few coins. Or maybe the die got worn down, or maybe aliens were involved, I don't know. The result? A rare penny was born, without any mint mark at all. And here's the kicker, only a few of these are known to exist. One recently sold at auction for $1.4 million. Million, with an M dot. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my glove box, the one stuffed with expired registration papers and 5 melted pins, and I found a Ziploc bag full of coins. I almost tossed it, but I paused. Something inside me said, what if? I kid you not. I spent the next 6 hours hunched over my kitchen table with a magnifying glass like a wannabe Sherlock Holmes, sorting through pennies like I was trying to crack the Da Vinci Code. Did I find the $1 million penny? No. But I did find a 1983 double die reverse worth about $250, and that funded an entire weekend of tacos and Netflix. So, still a win. Alright, so here's how you can go treasure hunting. First, grab any 2006 Lincoln penny you can find. Flip it to the front, the obverse, if you want to sound fancy. Now look below Lincoln's bust, just above the rim. That's where the mint mark should be. If there's a little D or P, well, it's still worth a cent. But if it's completely blank, no letter, nada, you might be staring at a coin that could pay off your student loans and buy your dream car. Just make sure it's authenticated by a professional grading service. And please don't go cleaning it with toothpaste or scrubbing it like it's a dirty frying pan. That's a rookie move. Condition matters. So what have we learned today, my fellow coin hunters? That even the tiniest, most overlooked objects, like a beat-up penny, can be hiding massive value. And maybe, just maybe, your future millions are sitting in that jar by your washing machine, waiting to be found. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious cash, how to spot valuable errors, or just want to see me nerd out over pocket change, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that bell so you never miss a hidden gem. We're diving into the 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yep, that one. The boring-looking copper one you probably used to scratch off a lotto ticket. But guess what? One lucky collector's version of this humble penny is now worth $1.70 million. That's right, $1.7 million. And yes, I checked, it wasn't printed in chocolate or dipped in 24K gold. Stick around, because I'm going to show you what makes this particular penny so rare, how to check your own stash. And I'll tell you a little story about the time I accidentally gave away a valuable coin at a garage sale. Yeah, we don't talk about 2016. Alright, so let's break this down. The 2014 Lincoln cent is pretty standard looking. Abraham Lincoln's poker face on the front, Union shield on the back, copper-plated zinc core, basically, the same coin you've seen since 2010. But the star of today's show is a 2014 penny with no mint mark. Now, a penny without a mint mark isn't always unusual. Philadelphia minted coins often skip the mark. But here's the kicker. One particular error coin from 2014 was minted without a mark, had a unique double die obverse, and get this, was struck on the wrong planchet. That's like the triple whammy of coin errors. It's like finding out your Uber driver is also your long-lost cousin, and he has snacks in the car. First place medal, so why is it worth $1.70 million? Let's talk about rarity. Only one known specimen of this 2014 no mint mark error penny with those exact flaws was authenticated by a top-tier grading service. It had no mint mark, supposed to be there in certain versions, a doubled image on Lincoln's face and text, a classic double die error, and it was struck on a foreign planchet, a blank intended for another country's coin. It was auctioned in a private collector's sale, and boom, $1.7 million later, some lucky guy basically became a penny millionaire. And here I am, still arguing with vending machines over jam quarters. So now you're probably thinking, okay, how do I find this thing? No mint mark on the front, under the year, doubling, especially on Liberty, In God We Trust, and Lincoln's face. Weight test, foreign planchets might weigh slightly differently. If it feels weird or looks off, don't spend it. Put it in a coin flip and research. You don't need to be a numismatist. Just a little patience, a magnifying glass, and an excuse to dump out that change jar you've been ignoring since 2009. Now, storytime. A few years ago, I hosted a garage sale, just trying to offload some junk before a move. My cousin walks over, spots an old coin jar, and says, "Hey, mind if I grab a couple for my kids to play pirate?" Me, being the generous genius I am, said sure. Turns out I gave away a 1943 steel penny in near mint condition, worth hundreds. Lesson? Check your change. Even if you're giving it to a 7-year-old pirate. If you've got a 2014 Lincoln penny just sitting in your drawer, it might be time to give it a second look. Who knows? You might be sitting on a 7-figure payday. We're talking about the 2021 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yep, 1 cent, almost $2 million. You might want to check your piggy bank after this video. Now, before you flip over every couch cushion in your house, let's get into why this little guy could change your life, and how you can spot one of your own. So what's the deal with this penny? The 2021 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for, not dollar, unfortunately. Now, most of these are, well, just pennies. Billions were made, and they look like every other Lincoln cent you've seen since 1959. But in the world of coin collecting, it's not just about what the coin is, it's about what went wrong. There's a rare error version of this penny that's causing a frenzy in the coin community. And yes, some of them have sold or been valued as high as $1.8 million. It's like winning the lottery, except it's in your spare change. So why in the name of Honest Abe is it worth that much? Well, the valuable versions of the 2021 D penny are error coins. Think double die errors, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. Stuff that wasn't supposed to happen at the mint, but somehow slipped through like a student copying homework. One of the biggest known 2021 D errors? A dramatic double die obverse, where Lincoln's face or the inscriptions look like they're doubling up. No, not from too much coffee, but from a die misalignment. And because these errors are super rare, collectors are ready to shell out serious cash. We're talking mortgage-paying money for a penny. All right, now for the good part. How do you know if you've got one of these magic pennies? Look for the D mint mark just under the year. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Trust me, your eyeballs alone won't cut it unless you're a hawk. Look for signs of doubling, especially on In God We Trust, Liberty, or the date. If something looks way off, it's a good thing. Weird is wonderful in coin land. Been here for 4 hours, starting to forget what real coins look like. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was digging through a jar of coins in my grandma's kitchen. You know the kind. It's half pennies, half lint, and probably a quarter of a peanut. I wasn't expecting anything special, just procrastinating on cleaning dishes, to be honest. But boom, I spot this weird-looking penny. The date looked off, so I did what any overly curious nerd would do. I Googled it. Long story short, it wasn't worth $1.8 million, but it was an error coin worth $75. Not bad for 5 seconds of treasure hunting, with a spoon and some boredom. If you think you've hit the copper jackpot, don't rush to your nearest pawn shop yelling, "I'm rich." They'll just think you've had too much coffee. Take clear photos of the coin. Don't clean it. That lowers the value. Get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. They're like the Ivy League of coin graders. Then you can list it on eBay, go through an auction house, or even sell directly to a collector. So there you have it. The humble 2021 D penny might just be your ticket to millionaire status. All you have to do is keep your eyes peeled and not toss your change in the nearest fountain. And hey, Even if you don't find the $1 million penny, coin collecting is still one of the coolest, nerdiest, most surprisingly profitable hobbies out there. I'm just out here trying to make sense of it all. If you love learning about coins worth money, rare finds, and how to spot hidden treasures in your pocket, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up and ring that little bell so you never miss a money-making coin tip.